Canada announces changes to temporary resident levels and rural growth strategy in 2024. Hello and welcome to Canada Chronicles, where we unpack the ever-evolving landscape of newcomers in the Great White North. In today's episode, we delve into the rise of rural settlements and the pivotal role of temporary residents, exploring insights from the Conference Board of Canada and Immigration Minister Mark Miller's recent policy announcements. If you're intrigued by Canada's changing immigration scene, hit that subscribe button to join our community of learners. Let's navigate this immigration frontier together and dive into today's enlightening discussion. Canada's immigration landscape is undergoing a significant transformation. Traditionally, major urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal have been the primary destinations for newcomers. However, a recent trend suggests a growing preference for settling outside these bustling hubs. This video explores this shift, delves into the reasons behind it, and analyzes the recent policy announcements by Immigration Minister Mark Miller regarding temporary residents in Canada. The rise of rural Canada, a new frontier for newcomers. A 2023 study by the Conference Board of Canada or CBOC revealed a fascinating trend. Newcomers to Canada are increasingly choosing to settle in areas surrounding major cities and even venturing further into rural communities. The study, which analyzed data from 2016 to 2021, highlighted Quebec as a prime example. The province witnessed a surge in newcomers residing in the ring of census divisions surrounding Montreal, Laval, and Longueuil. Similar patterns emerged in the Greater Toronto Area, GTA, where regions like York, north of Toronto, and Peel, west of Toronto, encompassing Mississauga, saw significant immigrant populations, 88.1% and 54% respectively. However, the story becomes even more intriguing when we look beyond these immediate peri-urban areas. The Conference Board of Canada study found that outside these major metropolitan regions, the percentage of immigrants within a population can range from 19% to 30%. For instance, the Simcoe Census Division in Ontario observed a remarkable 33.5% increase in its immigrant population between 2016 and 2021. Temporary residents, fueling rural growth. The Conference Board of Canada report attributes a significant portion of this rise in rural newcomers to the surge in temporary residents in Canada. These individuals hold study permits, work permits, or visitor visas. This aligns with data from Statistics Canada, indicating that temporary residents comprised a staggering 84,000 of Canada's new immigrants in 2023. This figure nearly doubles the number of permanent residents welcomed in the same year, 47,155. The Conference Board of Canada report further emphasizes that between 2016 and 2021, many regions across Canada witnessed a more than twofold increase in their temporary resident populations. In some areas, this growth skyrocketed by over 1,000%. Interestingly, Quebec's rural regions witnessed the most significant influx of temporary residents, with some communities reporting a staggering 1,520% increase. Work permits drive rural settlement patterns. The report also sheds light on a crucial distinction within the temporary resident category. Temporary residents settling in rural areas, along with their accompanying family members, are more likely to be on work permits. Conversely, growth in urban centers reflects a mix of international students and temporary foreign workers. This trend suggests that non-urban centers are experiencing rapid population growth and evolving demographics. As an example, Prince Edward Island saw a notable increase in its female temporary resident population between 2016 and 2021. This demographic shift necessitates a corresponding increase in services tailored towards women, such as settlement services and healthcare within the province. Challenges and opportunities, adapting to a changing landscape. While the influx of temporary residents presents exciting opportunities for rural communities, it also necessitates careful consideration of potential challenges. These new residents bring diverse skills and experiences, potentially contributing to a more vibrant and dynamic rural landscape. However, ensuring their integration and access to essential services requires proactive planning and investment in areas like housing, healthcare, and education. Public concerns and the government's response. The rising number of temporary residents in Canada has not gone unnoticed by the public. Several opinion polls conducted in late 2023 indicated a decline in public support for high immigration levels. Concerns regarding affordability of housing and the strain on the healthcare system were frequently cited. In response to these concerns, Immigration Minister Mark Miller made a series of announcements on March 19, 2024, regarding temporary residents in Canada. A key takeaway was the inclusion of temporary resident levels in the upcoming immigration levels plan. This plan traditionally set targets for permanent resident admissions, with projections for subsequent years. The addition of temporary resident levels aims to provide a clearer picture of overall immigration trends and potentially act as a soft cap on temporary resident admissions in the future. Prioritizing permanent residency for existing temporary residents. Another significant announcement by Minister Miller involved an increase in the number of domestic draws for permanent residency. These draws prioritize applications from temporary residents already residing and working in Canada. This policy shift incentivizes temporary residents to transition to permanent residency, potentially easing the pressure on the temporary resident system and providing a path to long-term contribution to the Canadian economy. Balancing needs, managing international student numbers. Minister Miller also acknowledged the challenges associated with the significant rise in international students. To address concerns about insufficient support for these students, IRCC announced a cap on the number of international study permits it anticipates approving in 2024. This policy aims to ensure a more manageable number of students and facilitate better support services for their academic and social well-being. The road ahead, embracing change and building resilience. Canada's immigration strategy is at a crossroads. The growing preference for settling outside major cities and the influx of temporary residents present both opportunities and challenges. To navigate this changing landscape effectively, a multifaceted approach is necessary. Investing in rural communities. Rural communities must be equipped to handle the influx of newcomers. Investments in infrastructure, housing, and essential services like healthcare and education are crucial. Additionally, programs that connect newcomers with local businesses and organizations can foster a sense of belonging and encourage long-term integration. Streamlining the pathway to permanent residency. The increased focus on domestic draws for permanent residency is a positive step. Expanding these programs and streamlining the application process can incentivize valuable temporary residents to transition to permanent status, bolstering Canada's skilled workforce and fostering long-term economic growth. Fostering a welcoming environment. Integration is a two-way street. Newcomers need to be supported in their efforts to adapt and contribute. However, existing Canadians also need to be part of the solution. Fostering a welcoming and inclusive environment will help ensure a smooth transition for newcomers and enrich the social fabric of rural communities. Conclusion: a new chapter for Canadian immigration. Canada's immigration strategy is evolving. The rise of rural settlement and the emphasis on temporary residents mark a significant shift. By embracing change, investing in infrastructure, and prioritizing permanent residency pathways for deserving temporary residents, Canada can leverage this transformation to build a more vibrant, inclusive, and resilient society. And that wraps up our exploration of Canada's evolving immigration landscape here on Canada Chronicles. We hope you found today's insights illuminating and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all things Canadian immigration, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join our community of passionate learners, and remember to share your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and let's continue this journey together. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.